Profitability by David Chen, Minhee Kim, Tara Swartz, and Melissa Zavala.
Terms to know: operating margins, profitability ratio that compares operating profit with operating revenue. Total margin, profitability ratio that compares the excess of revenues over expenses with total revenues to determine overall profits earned. Return on net assets, profitability ratio that measures the relative increase in net assets. Return on total assets, profitability ratio that measures the rate of return the organization earns on its total assets. The author of our textbook explains profitability in the following manner. Virtually all organizations need to earn a profit to be financially healthy, to be able to replace equipment with newer, more costly equipment, acquire new technologies, expand services, and to be able to meet the challenges of the future. For NPOs, profitability ratios can also help managers and outside users assess whether the organization is making an adequate but not excessive profit. The operating margin compares the operating profit with operating revenue. It assesses the profitability of each dollar of revenues generated by the routine ongoing activities of the organization. For example, if revenues are $100 and operating profits are $3, then operating profits compared with revenues are 3%. In other words, the organization earns 3 cents of operating profits for every dollar of revenues generated. The total margin compares the excess of revenues over expenses with total revenues. That determines the overall profits, including all sources of revenues and expenses per dollar of revenues. In some cases, organizations will have sources of profits that do not come from its routine operations. The return on net assets, or RONA, is a measure of financial performance of a company which takes the use of assets into account. The higher the RONA means that the company is using its assets and working capital efficiently and effectively. The return on total assets is a ratio that measures a company's earnings before interest and taxes against its total net assets. The ratio is considered an indicator of how effectively a company is using its assets to generate earnings before contractual obligations must be paid.
Created using Powtoon.